Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know I look dishevelled. This is the second time I'm going to attempt to film this because the cat is running around like a headless chicken. I've got the wind and the rain from outside just blowing a gale up here. Storm Dennis can fuck off. Yeah. So, it's been a while since I updated you on what the crack is with me gallbladder, my gallstones. They're still there, just saying. So I had my consultant appointment with my consultant on the 14th of February on Valentine's Day. The day was awkward as fuck because we had to sit there for most of the morning. We didn't really want to do anything because we didn't have loads of money, but Lenny watched his wrestling and stuff, and then we went to the doctors, we went to the hospital. Sat there for an hour waiting for the consultant, and I only got to see him for like 2 minutes. Honestly, I should have asked more questions and I just couldn't think off the top of my head. But anyway, so I got in there and he was like, "So why are you here?" And I was just like, "You perform surgery for gallbladder removal and that's why I'm here." So anyway, that was what I was thinking, but I didn't say that obviously. But I went through the whole rundown. I was like, "So I've been having this pain. It started back in December. I'd had some little pains before that, but it kept going away. And then in December, I was taken to hospital in ambulance because I was in agony. I woke up in agony and the pain wouldn't go away. And then I was in at least maybe 3 more times within the further 2 weeks after that. I went for a scan on the 21st of January and they said it was gallstones, and then I've been in hospital after that, and now I'm here. And he was like, "Right, okay." And he just went through the options of surgery. He basically said I can either have surgery or I can eat no dairy and a low-fat diet. So I know that a lot of people will be like, "Oh, we'll just eat a low-fat diet," but because at the minute anything sets off my gallstones, like anything at all. So I want to have the surgery. It's not for the fact that I want to be able to eat cheese again, but I want to be able to not worry about food that I'm picking up in the shop, because obviously I don't just buy food for myself, I buy food for Lenny and I, and we have to, at the minute, because I'm not working, we have to stick to a strict a strict budget. So I can't exactly go in and pick up all this non-dairy vegan stuff. I would if it was just me, but I can't exactly do that because one, a lot of the stuff that's marketed as vegan or dairy free is expensive, and it wouldn't be fair on Lenny because he has no interest in being vegan. He likes meat, he likes cheese, he likes dairy, so it just wouldn't be in his best interest. So yeah. So we were talking about this options for surgery. Even that hasn't made me feel any better. It's just scared us, to be honest. So I've just had my breakfast, by the way, so if I'm hiccuping, it's because of that. So I went down the route of surgery, and basically what he said is, and it's upsetting and I don't want to have to answer any questions about this, is because of my weight that it's going to impose a risk, which I already knew. I knew that if you are heavier, that it's more risky etc, etc. Don't you dare go on my fucking headboard. I just didn't expect him to like look at us the way he did, and I've just felt so awkward. I just wanted to leave. And then afterwards, I was like, I don't know why I even want to bother going through the surgery, because he hasn't made us feel at ease. He doesn't have a good bedside manner. Do you know what I mean? He basically said that he might not be able to remove my whole gallbladder, because if my liver is enlarged or is swollen, that can cause problems. Or if the gallbladder itself is swollen, that can cause problems. So we might end up only being able to remove part of my gallbladder, which in turn means that later on I might end up with gallstones again. Sounds great, doesn't it? So that's what he said. Now I'm hoping, he said that he has dealt with patients who are bigger than me, who are heavier than me. I'm not telling you how much I weigh because I just don't want to disclose that. So he said he's dealt with patients a lot bigger than I am. So he feels that it should be okay, but at least 10 days before the surgery, he wants me to stick to this diet, not to lose weight, but it's supposed to shrink your liver. So it's like, from what I had a look at, it's weird because I think it sounds like a normal diet anyway. I don't know if that's just me, but it's like Weetabix for breakfast with a pint, like semi-skimmed milk. I don't know why in that diet he's asking me to drink dairy, because he knows that dairy sets off the gallstones. So I might just use like oat milk instead. But so it's like 1 Weetabix with semi-skimmed or skimmed milk. For lunch, so many grams of protein with so many grams of vegetables, and then like he's got like a pint of milk on there at some point. There's loads of different varieties in the book that I'll show you when I get closer to the time. I've still got sleep in my eyes. So that's what is scary. So we went on to go and have like a Valentine's meal, and I feel since then I've felt utterly horrible about myself. I've hated my appearance. I've hated just how I feel in general. I know at the beginning of the year I said I wanted to lose weight, and that is something that I want to do, and I am making better choices to lose weight and stuff like that, but I swear to God, it's not half a fucking kick in the teeth when someone basically looks at you and like, I feel like I'm being, like they're being prejudiced because I'm a bigger person. Did you see that? I'm gonna kill that cat. But anyway, I feel like they're being prejudiced because I am a bigger person, and because I'm not a skinny mini in a size 6. Do you know what I mean? Yes, I know there's complications, and yes, I know he has to tell me what the risks are, but it was just the way he said it and just the way he looked at us. I was just like, right? Like, he was like, so are you sure you want to do this? You sure? I was like, well, yeah, because what else, what other options do I have other than not to eat dairy, and even then not eat dairy and not to eat anything with fat in it. So even then, even if I had something that had fat in it, so say for example I had a chili or I had spaghetti bolognese, that in itself could set off gallstones, could set off the gallstones that I already have, and would mean that I would have to go to hospital, because I can take morphine, like I've got like oral morphine, but if I take that when I'm in pain, it does fuck all, nothing at all. So the best way for it to be treated is through IV morphine. That's the best way that I've found. And so anyway, it leads me on to my next point. So that I left there, wasn't feeling great, but I was like, right, okay, I'll work a little bit harder to lose weight. He was like, it's not going to hurt you if you lose a bit of weight. I was like, okay, thanks. And then when was it? So, and then I posted the video about the builders just to let you know that has been resolved. I am going to do a separate video on it and I'll show you because I need to redecorate as well. But on Friday, was it Friday? No, Wednesday. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was Wednesday. So the contractor was supposed to come out on Wednesday, the guy who checks over all the work. He was supposed to come out then, but I woke up at about 4 in the morning with pain again starting, and I knew, because do you know when you're like kind of less like half asleep and you're like tossing and turning and you can't get comfortable? I couldn't get comfortable because I felt like I was in pain, and then I woke up and I took some morphine. I just hoped that it would work. Took some morphine, it didn't help. And then Lenny went in the living room like to give me a bit of space, because he knows when I'm in pain I get very angry, and I get very, well, I'm not even angry, I'm just upset, and I'm like, I just want someone to help us. No one helps us. And so I was crying, I was punching the wall because I was in pain, and I just wanted to get something out. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to get some like adrenaline going to fight off pain. That didn't work, and then I started feeling sick. Now I'm not usually sick with gallstones. I feel sick a lot of the time, but I'm not ever usually sick. And then all of a sudden it came on, and I was like, Lenny, I'm gonna be sick. He brought in like the washing, like the bucket that we use for washing the floor, and I was sick, and he was like, I think you need to go to hospital. So Lenny had to work, and he couldn't come with us, which was fine, because every other time that we've been to the hospital, it's been waiting for 6 or 7 hours, and then they give me some pain relief and send me home, or they don't give me any pain relief and they just send me home. And it can be quite exhausting, and I would rather him not miss a day of work because I'm sat in A&E. So I got a taxi through to A&E, sat there, went to saw the triage nurse, and I was like, look, I've got gallstones, I'm here for some pain relief. Like, I've taken some morphine, it's not working, I need some pain relief because I'm in agony. They took some bloods, which again, I'm very difficult to get blood from. My veins are quite deep, and they've just said it's quite difficult to get them. What are you doing, you weird cat? So they took some bloods, went back in the waiting room, and then this lass started talking to us, and I was just like, please leave me alone, because I'm in pain and I don't want to talk. I don't want to have to like make idle chit chat in A&E because I'm in agony. And she could see that I'd been sat there crying as well. Luckily she got called in before I did. And then when I finally got to see the doctor, he was like, right, okay, so you've got gallstones, I can see that. I can see there's a letter that your consultant has sent out, you should get it soon, saying that you are going to have a whatever-ectomy. I can't remember the word. And so I think what we'll do is we'll get you on some pain relief, and we'll see about maybe speeding up your surgery. We'll admit you and we'll sort that out. And I was like, what? So I was like, yeah, okay, brilliant. he left and he was like, I'm going to go prescribe you the IV morphine, we'll get a cannula put in, and we'll get you up to the ward. And I was like, right, brilliant. So I rang Lenny, I was like, I'm being admitted in a hospital, this is like surgery day. I put on Facebook, I put on Snapchat, like, if you need me, contact Lenny, because I think I'm going in for surgery. So the lass came down, she put the IV in, she put the cannula in my left arm, and then another girl came and gave me the morphine before I was taken up. Nibbler, you're stressing me out. Where's that spray? He hates this. So, all of that was done. I had one of the porters come through and take me up to the ward. I was there for a little while, and then he came, he asked me if I wanted to bring some stuff, and I was like, yeah, like, if I'm having surgery, you might as well. So he brought me like my nightie, some fluffy socks, some underwear, my medications, and a couple of things like that. You know what I mean? Ideally I was going to have everything packed out for having surgery, but it didn't work that way. So they then assessed me on the ward. They did my weight, my height, more bloods. They did some swabs of, just did some swabs. They were testing for MRSA. So they did that. I was then given some more pain relief, I think. I was told I had to be nil by mouth, which meant that until I saw the doctor, I could not drink anything, not even water, couldn't drink anything, I couldn't eat anything. The eating I wasn't too fussed on because I felt sick, but I couldn't drink anything. My mouth was dry. The cat is in the wardrobe again. So I was like, right, okay, that's fine. And then we waited all day. I went into hospital about 5 o'clock in the morning, and the doctor came round right about the same time, about 5 o'clock in the evening, I would say, or in the afternoon. And he was like, by this time I'd had some codeine and some paracetamol, I'd had some more Oromorph, just to keep on top of the pain. I'd gotten into the bed and I was like ready to sleep. I'd been dozing in and out of sleep, and Lenny just seemed bored because obviously we'd been sat there waiting all day. He came round and he was like, so why are you here? And I explained it all over again, and I was like, look, I've got gallstones, I've been told they're going to come out, what are you going to do? And he was just like, well, we're not going to take your gallbladder out today. It's too risky. You know, your liver might be enlarged and we don't want to do that. Ideally, we'd have to wait 10 days before, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, what? I could have cried. I was just so pissed off. They were given us IV at this point to keep me hydrated. Like, I was just like, are you joking? I've been here for nearly 12 hours with nothing to eat, nothing to drink, and you're not even going to do surgery. You could have just given me the pain relief and sent me on my way. I could have been in bed at home. So he was like, you know, like, I was just like, right, whatever, just let us get the discharge forms, let us go. So 2 people come round and they removed the IV out of my arm, and that was when I realised. So I'd had my arm like stretched out all day, because I didn't want to stretch or like bend where the needle was, the cannula. So he like took the cannula out and he obviously put the cotton wool on to stop the blood from like spurting out my arm. And he was like, oh, hold it there. And I was like, guys, giving us a lot of cotton wool because it's like hard to bend my arm properly. And then I realised there was a massive lump in my arm, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And so I pressed the emergency thing and the nurse come in and I was like, what the fuck is this in my arm? And she was like, oh, and she went, oh, so instead of putting the cannula into your vein, she's put the cannula into your muscle in your arm, and so all the IV's been going into there, so we'll have to wait for the fluid to reabsorb into your body. And I was just like, are you fucking joking me? I told her it was hurting when the stuff was going in my arm, when she was giving us the morphine. It just felt like my left arm was going numb. And then after ages, that's when I started feeling a bit better. And the IV and stuff, I honestly just felt pain in my arm. And no wonder, because she was putting it all in my fucking bicep. So I was like, right, get us out of this hospital now. So I got discharged. The guy came around and gave us a load more shit when he was discharging us, and he was like, look, I know it's a kick in the teeth. If you are in more pain, please go back to A&E. And I was like, am I fuck going back to A&E? Because I've got to sit and wait for 7 hours when it's busy. And I get that it's busy, but I'm only sitting there waiting for pain relief. So I'm sitting in the waiting room making myself look like a tit end because I'm in pain. So anyway, I just kind of brushed off what he said. I went in a mood. I've been really angry and really upset the last few days. And Lenny's just like, you can't do anything about it. And I'm like, but that's not the point. It's not the point that I can't do anything about it. It's the fact that I'm putting my life and my body in someone else's hands, and I've just been completely fucked over. Does anyone else understand what I mean? I've never been so frustrated in my life. Like, it was so annoying and so upsetting as well, because I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to be in pain anymore. But anyway, so that has finally reabsorbed. So it was like here. It was horrible. It was horrid. I've got, again, bruising on my arms where the cannulas have been in and where they've taken blood. And I am just beyond fed up. I can't tell you how beyond fed up I am. Funnily enough, that day, I actually came back and there was a letter on the mat from the consultant. So just a letter that he'd sent to my doctor, relaying back what he told me. And now I just have to wait for a surgery date, which I don't know how long it could take. Could take ages. I've told it'll be before April. So let's see how that goes. But that is just my update on what's been happening, and why some of you saw that I'd posted that I was going into surgery and then didn't have surgery. So yeah, I'm stressed, I'm pissed off, I'm in pain, and I'm upset. I'm really upset about it. Anyway, I've been talking for too long. I'm going to get this uploaded and continue on with the rest of my day. At the minute, I'm trying to follow a strict diet. I'm trying to get back on Slimming World. I have no means to weigh myself. I'm not going to like a Slimming World group. That is just too embarrassing. And I don't have any scales at home. So I'm kind of just playing it by ear. But I will let you know how everything goes. In the meantime, have a good one, and I will see you in the next one.